Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the Smalletics channel. So today I am taking you through how I meal plan for the week. And I'm using the word plan instead of prep because I feel like for me, it's like when I hear the word meal prep, I just imagine myself being in the kitchen, like grinding away for hours. I have like every pot going, the oven's on, and it's like craziness. It's just, it makes me stressed, you know? But when I say meal plan, it's like, okay, I'm just planning my week out so that I don't have to think about food that much throughout the week. And I know that I already prepared things the way I want them so that I can stay on track towards my goals. Because we all know that if we're in a pinch for food, like making decisions last minute, we are going to reach for the easiest thing possible, like the bars or the cereals or the processed foods, or we're gonna order at night. If we don't plan our dinner ahead, we're probably gonna order food. So in order to just stay on track with my goals, I like to meal plan for the week. I create myself a little weekly menu. Sesame wants to say hi. Sesame does not help me meal plan because he's a little piggy and he likes to eat everything. So he will not be very helpful in this video, except for looking real freaking cute. But yeah, you guys know how if you do not plan ahead, you'll end up just going for what's easy, and then it'll be hard for you to reach your goals if you are always making last minute decisions and you don't have an idea of what you're eating for the week. Let alone, it will be very hard to reach your protein goals if you're not really making a concerted effort to get your protein levels up. So I'm gonna take you guys through step by step what I do to meal plan each week so that I'm prepared. Okay, so step one is to just take inventory of what you already have in your fridge, what you didn't use up last week, or just, you know, to make sure you're not letting food go to waste. So I'll go into my fridge and just take a mental note of, okay, I have, you know, some carrots that I need to use. I have some spinach that's about to go bad, or whatever you need to use immediately so that you can put it into your planning for the week. Okay, so step two for me is I just get out any cooking books that I have and I kind of get into the like inspiration phase. This doesn't have to take a long time, but I will just grab some books that I have that I like to use. Some of my favorites are Gourmet Nutrition, which is actually written by the certification that I have as a nutritionist, Precision Nutrition. I like to just get my brain in a sort of, okay, what do I want to eat this week? What has inspired me? Also, maybe, you know, if I asked a friend or a trainer friend or fitness friend what they've been eating recently, and they'll say, oh, I have this really good recipe, it's really macro friendly or whatever, I'll take it from them. Or if I saw something on Instagram, or I just, you know, I saw something on Netflix. I love watching Netflix cooking shows. I never used to be like that, but I just love them now. If I just see an ingredient that inspires me or something, and I'm not even a good chef, just I see something, I want it, I'm thinking about it, then I got it, right? Then you gotta put it into the meal planning for the week. And it just serves as a really easy way to be like, okay, what do I want to eat this week? Because the last thing that you want to do is put a bunch of really bland foods in your meal plan that you know you never normally eat, but you just put it there because you were like, I want to be perfect and want to have the best, strictest week ever. Don't do that. Choose foods that you actually know that you'll enjoy so that when you're going to put them together for your next meal, you actually want to eat them. Otherwise, you won't eat them and you might order or go for something else. So I really make sure that the foods that I'm eating are, of course, PFF balanced, so protein, fats, and fibrous carbs. And secondly, that they actually are appetizing to me. They actually make me hungry to think about them rather than just, you know, chicken and green beans, which is actually delicious, but you don't want to eat that every single day because you'll get bored. So after I've gotten a little bit inspired, I will then go into my macros app, which is what I use to meal plan. You do not need to track macros. Before I used macros or meal apps, I just would write it down in my sticky notes, and I still do that actually some weeks depending on what's going on. But I write down, okay, here's what I'm having for breakfast, here's what I'm having for lunch, here's what I'm having for my snack, here's what I'm having for dinner. If I'm having 4 meals that day, that's how I'll structure it. And I'll also sometimes just write the times of the meals that I want to eat so that I can structure it around my workday productively. I'll go into my app and I'll start to pull meals that I am going to repeat, because if you can repeat meals that you know you love, that you're not sick of yet, that's the simplest way to do this really quick. And I know that recently I've been loving Dave's Killer Bagels with egg whites. You guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I've basically been eating that every day as my post-workout meal. along with a matcha and some vanilla creamer and matcha. So that's a meal that I'm going to repeat for my next week. I already know, I look forward to that meal. I love it. It's serving me. So don't break what isn't broken. Don't fix. That's the saying. Don't fix what isn't broken. I'm not sick of it yet. I'm not resorting to ordering food because I'm sick of it. So I'm gonna repeat that as my post-workout meal for the next week. So this would kind of be in the step 2-ish category of what can you keep doing that was working before. And if you don't have anything, no history of foods logged or recipes you like to use, it's okay. You're just gonna be starting from scratch and saying, okay, what breakfast food is appealing to me? What's a quick recipe? It also has to fit your lifestyle and how you move throughout your day. If you need to have it prepped ahead the night before, a chia pudding or a parfait, protein parfait would be a really good option. If you can cook your breakfast, then you might want eggs or something that it was served hot, oats, whatever. After you've done this for many years, you'll also find that you kind of eat the same rotation of foods, especially if you eat a pretty non-processed diet like I do, fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and healthy fats. There's only so many. I mean, there's a lot, but there's only so many, and you're gonna have your favorites. And the point that I'm at in my journey is I know which foods I'm gonna repeat. It's really just putting a twist on the recipe so that it still tastes fresh and new and exciting to me. So one of my classic meals that I have almost every day is some kind of parfait, but there's so much you can do with toppings and protein powders or just to change the flavor up. So I'm going to be taking my yogurt that I always have, and I'm just gonna make it a fruit parfait this week. I'm gonna mix in some cacao powder, about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to add in a little bit of sweetener. I usually use like a liquid stevia, like 2 drops, just to make it a little sweet. I do buy 0% or 2% Greek yogurt, and it's non-flavored. There's no added sugar in it. Lots of yogurts tend to have lots of hidden sugars in them, so it's best to just get the non-fats and sweeten it up with fruits and natural sugars like that. Of course, I do add the 0 calorie sweetener, which I just enjoy. So the cacao powder that's a superfood. It's gonna give it a nice chocolatey taste. And then I'm going to add some granola on top of that. I love this blueberry granola from Kind, so I program that in. And I might add some small little slices of strawberries, raspberries, or blueberries, whatever kind of fruit I have in my fridge from this week, and I do have some leftover fruit. And then I also like to have a really big lunch meal, so I'm gonna add in some oats and peanut butter. And I like to just keep my oats simple. I just do oats and water or almond milk, peanut butter, and some salt, and that just does it for me. I enjoy that. So that's gonna be my second meal of the day on my meal plan. I will also say I do try to sneak in veggies into as many meals as possible. So in my breakfast eggs on the bagel, I might cook some spinach into the eggs or some carrots or some finely chopped broccoli, just to make sure I'm adding fiber and vegetables to all my meals. Okay, for my third meal, recently I've been really into breakfast food. So this week of meal planning was really kind of inspired by I like eating breakfast a lot. So I'm making a sweet potato hash with turkey or chicken sausage. Of course, I always say, you guys, 80% of the time eat your whole unprocessed foods, and the other 20% can go to fun foods. I would count the sausage as a fun food. It's processed, it's not, the best, but that's where my fun foods go, to more savory things or sweets, which we'll get to as well. And so I'm going to be making a sweet potato hash. It's gonna have carrots, spinach, sweet potatoes. I'm gonna have a side of green beans. I'm gonna put the turkey sausage in it, or chicken sausage. And if I need a little bit more protein added to that, I might sprinkle in some egg whites just to get the protein content up. But it should be good with 4 to 5 small sausages, or the medium. When you buy the sausages, they're like, I'm not talking like the huge ones, just like the little ones that come in the breakfast packs. So I have been loving this peanutter recipe. I've mentioned it like a bunch of times on Instagram and this channel, and it's basically a peanut butter cookie that is high protein. If you guys want the recipe, you can go to yourhealthyhedonista.com, or it's her Instagram handle, Michelle. She has a free ebook called The Best of the Basics, and I've been using that to find some really good sweets that are high in protein and balanced in terms of PFF and macros so that I can reach my goals. And these cookies, you guys, they do not even taste like a protein or a healthy cookie. They're just so good. If you like peanut butter, you're gonna love these. So I make a batch of these. Each week I'll make them ahead of time, and then I put them in the freezer as cookie dough balls, and I just eat them as cookie dough bites whenever I kind of need a snack. And they have chocolate in them. They're so good, and they're PFF balanced so they don't give me a crazy sugar spike. And that's what I'm gonna have as a snack. This is something I repeated from previous weeks because it's been working for me, so I'm just carrying on to this week. And then for dinner, I have been having these small little wraps, little like, what am I trying to say? Like ground beef taco wraps. And I'll switch up what I use as the actual carb. I have been using the, I think you pronounce it jicama wraps, which is I think a vegetable. I could be totally wrong, you guys, but I got them from Trader Joe's, and they're like these thin wraps that are just low in calorie but really crunchy and delicious. They kind of taste like a radish. And I put the ground beef in there, and then I put cheese on top, and I use 0% Greek yogurt as my sour cream substitute. So this is a great high protein meal to have for dinner, and I'll use regular tortillas as well. It just depends on, you guys know I do carb cycling. If it's a rest day, I might use the jicama wraps because I don't need those carbs. I'm not hungry enough to really use a full, have like 60 grams of carbs for dinner. I just don't need it. But if I did have a training day, I up my carbs a bit, so I'll have more of like a corn or flour tortilla as my dinner meal. And I love Mexican food. Mexican food is so easy to balance, PFF as well. So I'll often do some kind of like bowl, macro bowl, or like burrito bowl or taco as a really easy PFF meal. So this is how I meal plan for the week. And once I know generally the types of things I'll be cooking, my final step is to go on to the grocery shopping. So if I have time during the week, I am going grocery shopping myself. If I don't, I use delivery service. I'll order from Whole Foods and just go down the list of everything I meal planned and just add it to my cart so that it can be delivered to my house. And that's it. When it comes, I organize the fridge. A clean fridge is really useful for staying on track. And I make sure that anything I can prep ahead, like chopping up the vegetables, the sweet potatoes, that type of thing, I can batch that ahead of time if I want. On Sundays, it takes like 20 minutes. I'll just cook my veggies. And then everything else I can just throw together because they're pretty easy meals to throw together, even if you're, don't have a lot of time like me. And the only thing that might be a challenge for some of you is that I do repeat a lot of the meals I eat throughout the week, but I do also, it gives me the flexibility to bake in sort of eating out more often. If I have my meals planned for a few days, I can see where planning ahead, I can go out this night, this will be a good night, and I can kind of fit it into my meal planning for the day. But if you're someone who gets really sick of meals really fast, like you need totally different foods every day, I would encourage you to probably just keep your breakfast, change whichever meal is easiest to change on a regular basis, but try to keep some things more consistent because it'll be more simpler if you can stick to the types of foods that you love and enjoy in a week, and you won't get overwhelmed trying to prep completely new, unique meals every day. I do think you can adjust to this. You don't have to be like me and eat like very similarly throughout the week, but you could have some more regularity so that in your mind it feels less overwhelming, it's simpler, and you can just get it done without the stress of having to have like unique meals every single time you sit down. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed my meal planning video. I love meal planning. I see it as a privilege and just a fun part of my weekend that I get to sit down and think about food that I would enjoy eating for the week and put it together for myself that makes me feel good, that serves my goals. And I hope that you guys got a lot out of this. Let me know in the comments what your biggest struggle with meal planning is so that we can chat about it, and give this video a like if you learned something new. Subscribe for more content tailored to petite women, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.